Okay, welcome back. Now we're on to part 3 of our exploration of logotherapy and existentialism. So, life does often challenge us to confront its biggest questions. Why am I here? How do I navigate suffering? And how can I find meaning in freedom? Viktor Frankl's logotherapy and Irvin Yalom's existential psychotherapy are two profound approaches that offer insight into these universal questions. Today, let's explore how logotherapy and existentialism complement each other, providing a framework for discovering meaning, embracing freedom, and transforming challenges into growth. So what we're doing here is logotherapy and existentialism, a unified path into meaning. While logotherapy and existentialism do have distinct origins, as distinct as they can be, given that they are in the same field and that they almost coexist at similar times, their core focus is similar, addressing life's fundamental challenges by seeking meaning and embracing responsibility. And at this point, I want to introduce a concept that we'll explore later on that I learned as an educator: backward design, or understanding by design. More on that later. So in logotherapy, the focus is on meaning as the primary drive in life. In existentialism, focusing on confronting ultimate concerns like freedom and mortality and isolation is the focus. The logotherapy was clearly developed by Viktor Frankl. Existentialism is grounded in philosophical traditions from thinkers like, and this is important, Nietzsche, Kierkegaard, and Sartre. I think I butchered his name, but please pardon me. Emphasizes in logotherapy, the emphasis is on the potential for meaning in all circumstances, even suffering. And in existentialism, we explore the tension between freedom and responsibility. We're often looking for those paradoxes, if you would, even dialectics to compare them. So together, these approaches invite us to reflect deeply on our lives and equip us to navigate the uncertainties of existence with resilience and purpose. For Frankl, meaning is at the heart of human motivation. He believed that even in the most difficult circumstances, we can find purpose, whether through creativity, connection, or how we face suffering. Existentialism expands this idea, suggesting that while life may not have inherent meaning, we are free to create our own. Irvin Yalom reminds us that meaning often emerges from relationships, self-awareness, and courage. So, 3 sources of meaning: work and creativity, love and connection, attitude towards suffering. Work and creativity, love and connection, attitude towards suffering are 3 identifiable sources of meaning. In work and creativity, it's the contribution to the world through effort and imagination. In love and connection, it's finding purpose in relationships and shared experiences. And an attitude towards suffering is transforming challenges into opportunities for growth. These ideas align beautifully, showing us that meaning isn't something we stumble upon, but it could be something that we cultivate. Existentialism places significant emphasis on freedom and responsibility. We are free to make choices, but that freedom comes with the responsibility to shape our lives and accept the consequences of our action. Frankl said, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Great understanding of some of the therapeutic work we do. Logotherapy complements this by reminding us that even when our external freedom is limited, we still have the internal freedom to choose our attitude and find meaning. So here's some tips to embrace freedom and responsibility. Acknowledge our choices, accept accountability, and act with purpose. Reflect on how your decisions align with your values. Recognize how your actions impact yourself and others, and make choices that move you closer to a meaningful life. When confronting mortality and isolation, both therapies, both logotherapy and existentialism, I should say both ways of thinking and being, encourage us to confront two difficult truths: mortality and isolation. While these realities are and can be daunting, they also provide opportunities for transformation. Frankl taught that the awareness of death inspires us to live fully, while Yalom emphasized that acknowledging isolation helps us value genuine connection. How can the awareness of life's brevity inspire you to prioritize what matters most? How can you cultivate meaningful relationships while embracing your individuality? Now let me interject the third foundational methodology, Adlerian thought, in here. One might say, in an Adlerian-inspired view, if you view life's brevity as a weakness, how could that drive you to self-actualization? How could it inspire you? Because remember, Adler's idea of the primary drive was the drive to overcome. And we find that very much active here. To some, and this gets into inferiority complexes and maladjustments, even the thought of dying is a weakness that cannot be overcome, and thus debilitates them and us. So this is a profound question, and addressed three different ways through, not too far apart, just different ways of framing it up in Adlerianism, existentialism, and logotherapy. How can you then cultivate meaningful relationships while embracing your individuality? Facing these truths don't diminish us. It expands our capacity to live authentically and connect deeply. So, in applied theory, here's how you can bring the principles of logotherapy and existentialism into your daily life. Same that I've suggested all along. Seeking meaning out of every moment. Pause to reflect on how your actions and choices align with your purpose. Then reframe challenges as opportunities. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can it shape me? Then engage in self-reflection further. Journal. Journal about your ultimate concerns of freedom, mortality, meaning, and connection. Foster genuine relationships. Invest in authentic connections that bring meaning to your life. By integrating these practices, you create a life that we think is not only purposeful, but also resilient, in the face of uncertainty. So logotherapy and existentialism remind us that life's challenges aren't obstacles exactly. They're not walls. They could be viewed as invitations to reflect, grow, and live with intention. Together, these approaches empower us to find meaning, embrace freedom, and build a life of purpose. As always, let's grow, connect, and thrive, one story at a time. So, like this video if it inspired you to reflect on your journey. Subscribe for more insights on meaning, freedom, and personal growth. Share it, please, with anyone who might benefit from this message of purpose and resilience. And thank you for joining me. Let's continue exploring life's ultimate questions and finding meaning together.